Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. We have a hero we've seen before, but he made it past the judging process again. It might have actually been from the same replay pack, I don't know, but you might recognize yjzhou. I think we'll just go with Zhou. Alright? Before I embarrass myself too much trying to pronounce something that doesn't have nearly enough vowels in the right places. But joining him on year 0 with the 2 Overlord opener. I mean, that's kind of a normal build. They're just close together. It is Snorun. Terran versus Zerg, the iconic Starcraft matchup. The humans against the aliens, who are controlled by a human. It's a little confusing. But this map actually, this is a very lore-based map. Because if you see here, by the way, spoilers, is Amon, an important feature. I'm going to call it a feature of year 0. Is Amon, not only is he angry, but he's so large, he's an air blocker. Which means you must ask for Amon's blessing before passing. Essentially, if you don't if you send your units in the wrong direction, they're going to get stuck on his, voluptuous pustules. I mean, what do you call these? He should just reach out. He should just bite things off, like in the campaign. Alright. Once every 5 minutes, there should be every time something passes by him, there should be a 10% chance he just eats it. Anyways, an SCV going to work on a hatchery. Those are pecs. Yeah, Amon is ripped, which doesn't seem to make any sense, because he's essentially a god who lives in space and doesn't seem to have any care about gravity, so why does he even need to be so large or so small, depending on any definition? But now we're getting... We're using, approximately 2 to 5 times more logic than the entire Legacy of the Void campaign. So... And now part of the reason, since nothing's happening, we're going to go into... Part of the reason I might not remember all the details of the Legacy of the Void campaign is because most of it I went through while being awake for over 24 hours for the StarCraft 2 achievement hunt, and that's not the best time to really have a deep, thoughtful, analytical commentary of the story. But all I remember is Artanis is a bitch, and... No matter what happens, there needs to be a much cooler Protoss near him, or he's too boring, and we gotta get him off the screen. Shout out to Alaric. I mean, leave your comments, alright? And then leave your comments, but let's be honest, Alaric is like 5 times the Protoss that Artanis is. Meanwhile, these players are actually playing the game. I mean, kind of. Engineering bay, second base. We've got Zergling speed and a hatchery. Orbital command 111, the classic opener. Wait, what? I zoomed in on the Scantipede. Scantipedes roaming throughout. The Zerg should be able to convert them. What a beautiful wall. One might even think, if they didn't know better, that he knew this was... Wait, that's not... Never mind, it's not a wall. Wait, is it? Oh, the grenade bounced the Zergling into the base in one of the very rare situations that can happen. So, Snorun, he goes right up against that wall with all his Zerglings, and what does he say? Okay, well, I lost all my Zerglings. You know what would really be the ticket, though? A bunch more Zerglings. Have you considered that, Winter? That maybe if he had more Zerglings, he would have gotten through. And I did not consider that. I apologize. Yeah, well, okay. So, Artanis, you know why Carix is in the game? Because customer service representative would like to talk to you about Solarite. And he is the only character in the game who is flatter than the piece of paper that is Artanis, because Carix is a phase smith. He got himself in trouble, but Artanis saved him, and now he's gonna help him out, no matter what's happening, and no matter what. There's no difference in tone. Anyways, there was a scan though, so. And he saw the lair. Very important info. What is the lair for? I don't think anyone in this game knows yet. Now, ZERGLINGS demonstrating one of my favorite skills, which is walling off your own siege tanks. Now, this is how you know you're an advanced Terran. When you build your buildings so close together because you know it's more efficient, but then you screw it up and wall in your own tanks. Well, now, bonus points if you do it with a depot that you could just lower. All right. So, this is happening. There are banelings and lings being built near the top. A scan to hunt down the drone. The drone will be murdered. Press F to pay respects. So, the lings and banes are behind the Terran army, which... Also, why was there a drone? The world may never know. But the army is at the front. The lings and banes are on the other side of the map. Are they gonna come back? Yes. The tank's not siege. There's not that many Marines. They do have +1, which is kind of surprising. Tanks are sieged up. The lings, is he right-clicked on the base? Oh no. Oh no. He right-clicked the tanks on the hatchery. They are laser-focused on killing that hatchery, which has some obvious drawbacks. Mostly that the tanks did nothing to help the army, and all of the Marines are going to die. But besides that, you gotta admire their commitment. The classic bringing an SCV inside the command center to the third strat being demonstrated here. Beautiful usage of all that utility. The SCV decides it's better to stay inside. Nope. He decides it's better to die. Well, alright. A Liberator just... There's some Banes. This is escalating. The Liberator, though, he decides to lift the command center after the Liberator sieges up. Okay, it sits back. Do a few push-ups. Like, you gotta stay in shape. You never know. So now the Lings and Banes are here. There and back again. A Zerg story. You know, the 10 Lings didn't cut it. 30 Lings, they didn't cut it. But you know what might? More Zerglings. Yes, you got it. Alright. So these Lings and Banes right now caught between a rock and a hard place. They can't actually escape from here. He could make... Now, this sounds crazy. Overlord drop, but that's advanced tactics. Oh, the banelings? And he doesn't even attack the rocks with the banelings. Such... Oh. Well. Aim on. Bite him. Alright. The Overlords are here. Medevacs are here. Liberator is there. This is my commentary. So this is happening. Meanwhile, the Liberator in the main, gonna siege up. Maybe not the ideal location. Gonna just barely be picked off. Another attack, but this time he has a Marauder. Otherwise, essentially identical to the first attack, but there is a Marauder. So, that could change everything. Alright, the tanks this time not finding a hatchery. They want to... Oh my god, what a beautiful setup for a flank here. The Terran army has no idea how much it's about to get. Well, it really does depend on the timing, because he could trickle in from each side. This is possibly the best time to use the Selecto Army hotkey, but the rocks! Oh, he has 3 Dropper Lords. He loads up the Banelings. And the Lings. Okay, this army's just going to kind of chill for now, but this is what it's all about. The drop. Oh, beautiful drop micro right on top of the tank. Easily picked off. Alright, and the Banelings. Oh. Oh, what a snipe. Several SCVs dying. Incredible drop micro out of Snorun. Now, the attack at the front is, I mean, that's still several tanks. Does he have baneling speed? No. But here comes the rest of the army, the bio! The banelings are going for the tanks. They will tank a lot of it. They will be cleaned up. Not the most cost-effective engagement there, but mutas and hydras and lings and banelings, the whole variety pack of lings and lisks on the board. And, it's like, there's some sort of inhibitor field here. That means every single person must load and unload their drops in this location. What am I watching? Okay, well. This is the designated drop zone, everyone. All right, everybody, not a lot of people respect that. But these players, they respect it. ZERGLINGS has 60 workers, so he has a relatively decent economy. Snorun, he has plenty of money, so I don't think he's too worried about the worker count. I say as he builds 11 drones. 3 mutas coming in. The Lexington rockets out of the Liberators, yes, that's their name, and the Concord cannon. They're not very subtle when they made the Liberator and copied it off of PlanetSide 100%. So in PlanetSide 2, the Liberator is a heavy air gun. PlanetSide 2, which came out in 2012. The Liberator is a heavy air gunship that has 3 people in it. It is pretty good air-to-air, but much better as an air-to-ground bomber, and isn't particularly mobile. So the Liberator for StarCraft 2 in 2015 is a flying unit that costs 3 supply, that has some anti-air capabilities, but an incredibly strong air-to-ground cannon. I'm not saying anything, but... Well, the Marines will all ask for Amon's blessing as they pass by. And then... Okay. Just tapping the photo on the wall. The Liberators, maybe a little bit ahead of themselves, as the Marines are still going through the rocks. Now, the big game-deciding engagement. We're just seconds away. Baneling speed, Hydra speed, +1 Carapace against 2-2. The upgrades, like, it's taken time, but the upgrades surprisingly, like, the fact we have +2 anything is already impressive. Amon, he's gonna ask for his blessing. Unfortunately, that medevac did not pay the troll toll and will be stuck within Amon's reach. He will have to spend extra time, but the rest of the medevacs made sure to have their easy pass right in front of the, on the front window. Well, the Lings, and the Lings and Banes, the Hydra's coming back. The drops actually effective to start. It really does depend on, well, Marines are pretty good units. He's gonna pick up the medevacs again and fly directly into the Corruptors, which is a bold move, but he's gonna join up with the other Marines at the third base, putting together his entire army, which is significantly smaller than it once was, but still sizable enough. Well, the Marines, they will go forward. Gunning down Hydra by Hydra, and then eventually die. Swarm hosts pop out. Unfortunately, this is not the location that was originally advertised, but they're here now, so Snorun down to 37 workers. He's lost 30. ZERGLINGS, both sides with plenty of money, so that's no real issue. It looks like we're gonna have a 1 tank, 1 Thor, 4 Marine, 2 Marauder, 2 Liberator, a continued assault. And then, of course, adding about 50 more Marines is going to be helpful, too. That one Hydra deciding maybe this is not the fight that he wants. Oh, the Swarm hosts launching their Locust. The rest of the Swarm hosts watching the Locust to see what happens. And that might be enough to drive back the Terran army temporarily. Locust, they really just... They want to... let me down! Alright. Oh, a few Locusts. Their purpose unfulfilled will die as their short, uneventful lives end. The hatchery gonna be shut down, but he does have another base. That Swarmo's really, in an unfortunate scenario. It'll pop out its Locust and die. The drones, maybe questioning. Well, actually, I don't think there were any questions there. The drones were committed. Everybody knows. They were very loyal to this base. They refused to mine at any others. So, well, plenty of Hydra lanes. He's got Swarm hosts. The army supply actually in favor of the Zerg here, technically. So, a full wave of Locust, Hydras, and Lings. Actually, a pretty coherent attack. The Locust going to get on top. He's easily going to clean up this expeditionary force. Oh, the Thor is trapped. The Liberators are spring into action. For now. Command Center taking a pilgrimage to the southern side of the map. So ZERGLINGS will maintain a 40 worker and counting advantage. He has 84 SCV. Oh. As another SCV train makes its way down. How many SCVs? That is like 30. Right around 34, actually. Oh, but here comes Snorun with some incredible Swarm host micro. Well, the Hydra's Locust cannot shoot up no matter how much they want to. Does seem like kind of an oversight. But ZERGLINGS is struggling to deal with the constant barrage of Locusts. The Lings, well, not, there are no Lings. That's the only thing that's not here. There are no Lings. The Marines and Marauders will chase down a handful of Swarm host Hydralisks. Alright, the chase continues, even scanning ahead. Some of the Hydras will match them. It is 3-2 to 1-1 upgrades, though, so... Oh, another wave of Locusts. He's waited out the time. Oh. Oh, look at this micro. Beautiful micro by ZERGLINGS. Oh, just need to move a little further. The Locust will, Okay. So I guess we're all going back to our corners. Swarm hosts, Hydras. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe some Zerglings coming out for Snorun. A little bit of everything from ZERGLINGS. He's got a Ghost Academy. We're getting another factory. The patented Biomech build. Cloak. The true variety pack. 87 SCVs. Snorun building up his economy. He's lacking in the upgrades. He doesn't quite have the unit variety, but he does have a large army, and it seems he knows how to use this. He's actually laying off the select all army hotkey better than most players, probably triple his MMR. High sec auto tracking, but the TPM is dangerously low. The turrets per minute. Very important in maintaining moral superiority and feeling like you're safe. The Venn dia scan spots out the Swarm hosts. The Lings poking forward. Surprisingly diligent. And the standoff continues. Amon watches wistfully, remembering that one time the medevacs passed by, and he put on a cold exterior because he's in space, but really he just wanted love. It's a really sad story. 99 SCVs. Will we hit the legendary 100 SCV mark? Numbers we haven't seen since the last time TY ever played. The Locust coming in, the Banelings. Does he know about the tanks down there? Will it matter? The Banelings closing the distance. The Micro back. The Locust, some of them losing motivation, but some of them hitting the deck. One tank goes down. Some more bio. Neither player really committing the majority of their armies to any engagement, for better or worse. 2-2 is on the way, Snorun. Like, these players are showing some experience. They are showing that they know what a game is supposed to look like, and they're doing their very best at a strong impression. So, I would say right here, our Terran player inspired by TY, and our Zerg player inspired by his Platinum League friend. As he builds 12 more Overlords. Well, he is supply block, so we'll have to see. 99 SCVs. We haven't hit that big 100, because as TY and Special say, you gotta keep it 100, fam. That's what they say. Just like that. There are 2 ghosts. Are there any nukes? No nukes. I'm not sure what he intends to do with them. Some Banelings. Another scan. Yeah, you can't have all the Terran units without throwing the spooky ghosts in. But will there be? Will there be? Oh, here come the Locusts, the Lings. Hydra's behind. A little disjointed, but a solid attack. He truly needs. Did we not have that? Where did we put that? Whoa! I was looking away. It seems so as though the Banelings come in doing more damage than the first attack combined. All right, targeting down the tanks. I mean, well, in the only way that he could possibly lose all his Hydras. But a pretty even trade. Well, let's look at the units lost. Or is it... Oh, I heard snipes! The Queen assassinated. We just caught the end of that. 102 workers. ZERGLINGS, well over half of his supply in SCVs. The working man's Terran. He has 8,300 minerals. He has 200 gas. And he has a dream. And more importantly than a dream, he has a nuclear missile. Which is much more effective in making your dreams come true. Your dreams will no longer be memes. A single battle cruiser on the way is a little limited on the supply. Just a little bit. Alright, an Overseer Scout. The standoff continues. Will he snipe it? A Changeling reclaims... Oh! The micro counter micro. These players, so evenly matched. Neither willing to commit. Besides... Oh, the nuke! The defensive nuke! Does he have cloak for the ghosts? Or is that for Banshee? Oh, well, that answers my question. Oh, the Hydras kind of lost track of what they were doing. Oh, but the nuke. Once again, the entire battle... Well, you'd really think it would have a larger radius than that, right? But, it's simple geometry. Or if you would say, trigonometry. Okay, 100% ZERGLINGS realized his worker count. And he's like, I have 3 too many workers. 100 is my limit. 100%. He pulled 3 workers. He's at exactly 100. He definitely hovered over his supply. He knows how to do that. He's watched all Winter's guides. I hear they're pretty good. Which would explain why he has an army and upgrades, but, it's the constant struggle of our Bronze League heroes. The struggle is having so many guides on the same channel as this premium content. Makes it hard to find a pure Bronze League hero in a natural setting. But remember, Bronze League Heroes isn't about Bronze League. It's much more about the heroic part. So both these players have time to secure their legacy in this void. Oh, the orbital! The orbital! The orbital! The orbital! The orbital! Okay, it doesn't die very quick. Building armor is definitely done, but the orbital goes down. And that will make it a little bit harder to reach 20,000 minerals. Oh, and some locusts are involved. Excuse me? Oh, he's gonna build. He sees the banelings. He decides the response is to try to build a wall to keep the banelings out. Because the Zerg, they're not sending their best. They're sending their Zerglings. They're sending their banelings. That's about it. And then, here come the Banes! The depots will immediately implode. Round 2's coming in to decidedly less success than the first round. But at the front, Widow Mines and Banelings will have an exchange. Does he have drilling claws? He does. Is there any detection? These tanks left alone. Oh, that medevac got blown out of the sky. I don't... He did kind of have his army a bit disjointed. It looks like Snorun's had enough. He's gonna bring the entirety of his force down to this bottom right corner. Battle cruisers, how many battle cruisers? 1 battle cruisers. You literally couldn't have any less without having none. We're gonna cut the map in half, it looks like. Both sides trespassing a little bit. 3-3 about to finish for these Hydras and Locusts and... Well, that's it. The starport's in a precarious location. Not sure what these players... We got some drone transfers. Both sides of 80 workers. A high bank, high economy game. Now we get to play the real game. We had the 30-minute intro. This was just the tutorial. Now we're getting started. Wait, does SC2 have a tutorial now? I think it does. Go watch my guy. The mules will repair. It's not enough. The DPS. But the counterattack at the top. The Marines stimming and stuttering in. They're tearing through all the drones. The Ghost at the back also leading the charge. A Yamato will put some extra damage into the hatchery. The rest of the units on the way back, besides the ones that are split off. The multitasking. The tanks are flanked, though. The Marines not drawn into the fight until it's almost too late. The Liberators exposed. Most of the forces. The Corruptors on top of everything. Battles across the board. Widow Mines. No detection means these Hydras won't be able to close the distance. The Hydras fighting the Planetary. The Planetary gonna win this round. But it may be the Hydras who get the last laugh if he forgets to repair. The Swarm host on the way back. Stimming forward. Supplies even. 72 Zerglings with +0 attack in production. The Planetary continues to burn, but I think ZERGLINGS has enough money in the bank with 13.4 thousand. It's unclear where everybody's going, but everything in the air gets cleared out. Everything on the ground will eventually be cut down. The Planetary still burns. Snorun will defend his side of the map, but at what cost? He's lost 8,000 more resources. The Planetary continues to burn. The Marines will be taken out. There's still mines out. Of course, eventually we end up at Thors and battlecruisers, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The Planetary burns. All the bases have been taken for Snorun, besides the one that's been so hotly contested. There's still a few minerals left, but I don't know if it's worth it while the Planetary burns. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And down it goes. More scans. The Viking fleet. He's trying to draw out Widowmine hits, it looks like. Does he know what detection is? Yes, he does. These players. So close to competency. Oh, a Viking raid. What are the upgrades? Does he have ship weapons? He does not. He only has +1 mech armor. Surprisingly few upgrades for these Vikings. But don't worry, they can do push-ups. The corruptors say, get the hell out of here with your push-ups. Nobody likes it when you post gym photos on Instagram, okay? Best case scenario, it's just a bunch of dudes liking it. It's not getting you the demographic you think it is. Anyways. A handful of Zerglings will be split off. The battlecruiser trying to alert the Marines below, but the Marines are oblivious. Finally, the Thors turn around to shrug them. Oh my god. A lot of SCVs taking the long road to mining. Okay. The minefield at the top. The game it continues. The map far from mining out. We're 31 minutes in with no sign of a conclusion. Eventually, ZERGLINGS is building up the more cost-efficient army, but it gets a little harder when the Lings and Banes. He will pull the SCVs away. It might be the first time that he realizes the planetary burned. Is there adrenal glands? No cracklings here. No attack speed upgrade. Some of the SCVs will be pulled. They do have 3-3. He's trying to manually target. I don't know, Kev. A big hit at the Baneling, though! That means... Wait, the SCVs are trying to repair. Some of them are attacking. A surprising amount of worker micro happening in this game. That's gonna bring them down to the devastatingly low number of 66 SCVs, of which he's quickly replacing 4 at a time. What am I watching? Oh. It's time to duel. SCV +3 SCV versus +3 Zergling. Barely any attack up. Oh, what a beautiful dodge. Oh no! That drone drawing out 2 Widowmine shots. What an efficient play. These drones, not, okay. So the whole neighborhood has come to check out what's happening here. It's just the Thors. On their own, corruptors take out the battlecruiser. Where are the rest of the cruisers? Oh, he only has 1. Widowmines do damage to everyone involved. A surprising amount of splash damage reduction from both sides in this match. Oh, the Thor goes down with the oh, the boys! The boys have been pulled across the entire map. Queen versus SCVs versus Hatch. The drones are pulled as well. No worker is left untouched by this war. They want revenge. They've gotten a taste of Zergling blood, and they want more. But unfortunately, well, actually, will they kill the Hatch? There's something happening up top. The SCV's still going at the Hatch. It's not going to be enough. They're driven back. There are drones up here. He finally had time to whip out the Prima strategy guide. He figured out there is indeed one last unit. One Guardian of the Galaxy. No, wait, Broodlord. And did you ever notice that Broodlords are just big, growed-up broodlings? And then they say there shall be no other, so they fling all their babies towards their enemies to die. The mini-map is a whole bunch of a mess. There's an attack to the south, the mid, and the top lane. Some Banelings in the front. The tanks will be taken out. Battle cruisers against Broodlords. There's limited anti-air. Another Thor just kind of sauntering its way through the attack at the top on the way back. More Thors, a mech army through the center. The Broodlords raining down the Broodlings. And the Thor's not going to be enough. They're not in high impact mode. The battle cruisers are the only place where the Broodlords aren't. The tanks, most of them beaten back. ZERGLINGS is down to 100. He's at 72 gas and 10,000 minerals. Snorun in almost the exact same position with 10,000 minerals and 250 gas. More Banelings will roll forward. A surprisingly conservative set of attacks from both sides throughout this match. Oh, here come the Corruptors. The Zerglings want in on the action. That one Hydra, not gonna cut it. 2 more Corruptors. Where do they come from? It's like people attacking John Wick right now with these battle cruisers. Maybe if we just come in one at a time, I don't know. But more Corruptors coming up. Down goes the battle cruiser. But there are 2 more where that came from. What are the upgrades? Still no ship weapons upgrades. He may not know that's a thing. But at the same time, no flyer attacks at all. So essentially unupgraded units that are hitting each other with big pillows. Both sides will have to take a breather after such a dramatic exchange. The Zerglings will very slowly... Oh, okay, the Broodlords are a little bit more effective. +1 fire attack on the way. The top lane army will be forced to retreat. He will siege up the tank. It will never fire again. A ghost will try to snipe an overseer. That's optimistic. Interrupted. Here comes some more locusts. The tide turns again. But the cloak ghosts. Nope, still overseers. Oh, he actually gets a snipe off because the overseers decide that they're not interested. Not quite enough to kill a brood. It takes 2. The tug of war. The gas limited tug of war here. Both sides with plenty of minerals. But literally and figuratively, the gas is incredibly limited. A planetary fortress versus this many Zerglings targeting SCVs. Not quite able to take it down. The Broodlords, a handful of Corruptors, a ground army. It's almost like a co-op mission with random waves of units on both sides. I'm not sure which one is the AI and which one is Amon. But the Broodlord's going at it. He's target firing broods as he can. Goes into high impact mode from the Thor, which will have a higher impact indeed. The Broodlords, they cannot contest the battle cruisers. If only they could fly a little bit higher. Because while there is no Z-axis, there is a ZZZ axis. Oh, the battle cruisers jump away. Beautiful teleport micro. There are Vikings over here. That's it. That's the entire commentary. There are still Widow Mines. He remembers. But does he remember in time? The battle cruiser taken down. Oh, the Vikings hit the deck to assassinate the queen. But wait, the Corruptors can only angrily say, "You'll never fly again, Vikings." But the Corruptors never able to land themselves. The Zerglings turn up their noses at the Vikings. The Vikings turn up their jets. But unfortunately, the Corruptors, this is a no-fly zone. Alright, 184 to 122 supply. The planetary, it has 52 kills. It's mined out, but it's still here. This planetary looking to... Okay, 100 Zerglings with just +1 attack versus a planetary with building armor. It's still anybody's game. Some Locust gonna add a lot of DPS. Does he know about caustic spray? I don't think so. The planetary 54 kills before it goes down. This planetary's at 57. The Zerglings continue forward. A counterattack at the top lane. He's just gonna ignore all his problems. This planetary will it rack up triple-digit kills before the Broodlords eventually take it down. The planetary stands. Not all the broods. 92, 94, 97, 100, and that'll be enough. The battlecruisers on the other side of the map. Why is there an army here? The mainlings are on the chase. The Marines go down, but there are Widow Mines. The acid blasting through everything. Some of the battlecruisers badly bruised. Thor's a pretty good counter to banelings, but enough banelings counters anything. But Widow Mines hit the broods on the retreat. On the ground, battlecruisers assaulted by Corruptors. He jumps away. The final battlecruiser. There's almost no gas. The Vikings taken down. And 2 drones. The Predator drones. Madness on the battlefield. 63,000 versus 52,000. Both sides near dead even on gas lost, and that's reflected. What does he attack into now? This base. Oh my god, where did these tanks come from? So the continued assault of the Lings begins and ends. Able to barely touch the first tank. But don't worry, these two Locusts are going to give it their best shot. And all the Zerglings. They will eat the first shots, but there's reinforcements on both sides. They're piling into the battle. The battlecruiser is back. The battlecruiser is in a very precarious position. It dies. The Zerglings on the deck. The Broodlings, but the Thor flank comes in out of nowhere. The Thors will drive back the Broods, and ZEHou, patience from ZEHou, and he will be able to take what I'll very, very, barely call a victory. Everybody calm down. It's just been another boring game. As neither player wants to directly attack one another. A single Broodlord versus the Widowmines. Now, I mean... Okay, they will drive it back. The engagements continue. The Thors. The ultimate chase of Thors versus Broodlords. Oh, Zergling. Oh, wait, Hydras. Over here, the Vikings are taken out. The Thor's chasing down the Broods, the Lings trying to stop them. There's still a Widowmine. The Hydras will outflank the Thors. But the Thors, not easy to kill in and of themselves. There are fully upgraded Hydras and fully upgraded Thors. Oh, the rest of the army comes in to outflank the Hydras. But the Vikings hit the deck as well. The Bio army chases it down. Another turn on the roller coaster. ZEHou chasing down. What is left? Where are the reinforcements? Snorun. The Hydras call for aid. Will the Zerglings answer? The Widowmines are rediscovered, but this base is essentially mined out. More Hydras hit the field. The Widowmines trying to join up. Is there an Overseer? There is no detection. Oh, a massive hit! 25 kills. I don't know if they were all there, but the drone count just plummeted. Not that he has many minerals to mine. Oh, geez, the Widowmines might turn the tides. Another Hydra goes down. He's building 2 Overseers. Still more Widowmines across the board. Oh, God, another one. Where are the Overseers? Where are they? I don't know where he built them. Oh, from all the way back in the corner. Both sides are mining out of Year Zero with almost nothing to show for it at the end of the day. If you hadn't watched the first 42 minutes, you might wonder why there are so few units. Oh, another queen! They will take their pound of flesh and more. Maybe even a kilogram. I don't know what you're using in the Kaprulu sector. Another squadron of Marines and Marauders. But a Thor caught out! Oh, and the Widowmines! They will fire! Death! Disaster! But this time, he's intent on taking out the tanks. They may damage themselves. Meanwhile, the Bio Army takes out the Hatchery Broodlings. The reinforcements, there's nothing in production for either side. The tanks will all die, but so will all the Hydras and things. 50 Zerglings in production. He's target firing the hatch, so the Queen is slaughtering. He throws an injected. That's not... Oh, wait, a transfuse. What a save. He's buying so much time. The Broodlings are coming out. The Zerglings. The Corruptors are still alive on the other side. Wait, did he kill it with caustic spray? I think he did. The Zerglings come out, but it's 3-3 versus +1/+3. He could kill the spawning pool. Still some more units. What? There are drones fighting the double planetary. Yeah, caustic spray is on cooldown. The drones are all slaughtered. 59 to 50 supply. More Zerglings in the main. The Broodlings from the pool and the buildings are combined with the Zerglings. The caustic spray is building turrets underneath. He's building turrets underneath to save the planetary. It may be enough. He can't move the Corruptors. The turrets are coming up. Will they be enough? Will he panic? Will he maintain his cool? Oh, he moves the Corruptors. The turrets save the planetary. 58 to 62 supply. "13 Hydras, both sides. Just try to figure out what else they can build. Some more turrets at the front. Scans across the board. There's nothing. Snorun is out of money. And he's out of minerals to mine from. LOL, says ZEHou. The war of attrition. ZEHou, now is not the time. He's successfully forced his opponent to mine out, but it's not over yet, because the army supply is still very high for Snorun, because he lost all his drones to a planetary. The Marines will retreat back to the planetaries, which have racked up the kills. These turrets... Imagine if those Zerglings had any upgrades. That's a changeling at the watchtower. What? There are 2 Marines here! A bunker will be built. Medevacs for the first time in 30 minutes. There's now the only base really with minerals is the base that wasn't mined before. This is a changeling at the watchtower. Planetaries have 360 degrees of fire. There's no amount of oh. There's no minerals left to mine. Wait, are we mined out entirely on this side? I mean, but does he find the Thors? No, then half the Lings go into the planetary. It will chop off 18, but the Thors are outflanked by the Lings. One will escape to the planetary. Actually, the Thors might beat the Lings. It's unclear. A Thor picked off. The Hydras as well, cutting off the production. There's no planetaries in the main, but there are 2 Thors and half a dozen Marines. Snorun finding an opportunity. These Hydras actually... Oh, the boys! The boys are coming home! But the Hydras find everything. The boys are actually pulled to fight. They will die. But more's coming from the main. There's nothing left for Snorun. But all the SCVs are dying. We're back where we started. 12 drones against 16 workers. That's not enough Hydras. More... Wait, where did these Marines come from? Suddenly Snorun has nothing left. He stepped a few steps too far. His first attack since the beginning Zerglings to the other side of the map. GG, that's it. He taps it out. He knows he's done. ZEHou says, wow, fun game, huh? Well, he can say that from his perspective, but he takes it. And after 46 minutes and 46 seconds, the entirety of ZERGLINGS mined out. Nearly nothing left. 106 drones, 831 Zerglings, 156 Hydras, a handful of Overlords of different varieties, 11 Broodlords, 86 Banelings, 38 Corruptors, 15 Swarm Hosts, and a dozen Queens, as well as 20 Thors, 14 Widowmines, 134 SCVs, 10 Medevacs, 28 Vikings, a singular Reaper, 14 Liberators, 14 Liberators, 32 tanks, 26 Marauders, 294 Marines, 8 Battle Cruisers, and 5 Ghosts. ZEHou wins the war after however many hundreds of battles. They may not be the best, and they're probably not the worst, but one of the closest games I have ever seen. FFT Private, judging that worthy of taking a look. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, or throw a kappa in the chat, or even in the comments. Subscribe in any way, shape, or form, because you could be a hero, or at least you could enjoy more of them.
Hell, it's about time.
Thank you for watching. Alright, my voice